Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another super cool radio interview. I'm your host, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have some awesome guests who I'm excited to have on the podcast. On May 23rd, Spider Rockets released their latest album entitled Dirty and Bad. Please welcome Spider Rockets.
Hey, how are you?
It's great to have you guys on the podcast. Obviously, I know we got so much to discuss, obviously, with the new album, plus everything you guys have been up to lately. But before we do that, I will introduce everyone real quick. So we have Helena, Johnny, Dan, and AJ. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Matthew, for having us.
So I obviously with the new album, I want to dive into that because I'm curious about some of the aspects of the album. But before we do that, so if anyone has not listened to the album, haven't checked it out yet, what can they expect?
You know what? We're super psyched about this new album. It's what we do as a band is riff-driven modern rock with a classic twist. So that's our sound. This album is just, it's like, to me, it's like the filthy, evil, a little gorgeous. It's a little bit of everything. It's crunchy, it's dirty, but it's like a party too. It's a fun album, and that's what makes it kind of unique. It's a fun album. It's like something you want to blast while you're just driving down, the road, freaking yelling with your friends out the window, singing along. It's that album. And that's, we're so excited to have it recorded now and have it available to everybody because we're so excited to share it.
Well, I've listened to the album, I've checked it out. I've very much enjoyed it because it feels like this album, obviously I like the previous material, like I'm a fan of the band, but this one just feels a little bit different. Like it's got, you include some different elements with it, and it's just straight up rock and roll, and I really like it.
Very cool.
We're I think our range of interests are just kind of really expansive. So it's we're all rock fans. You have elements of metal in there. You have riffs. You have different things that kind of influence the band as a whole, and you could hear little pieces of that throughout the album, which is really, really cool. But we're at the bottom, at the basis of everything. We're like a rock band, and that's what we love. We love rock and roll, and that's what we do.
Well, you guys do it very well, but before we talk about the music side, but I'm curious, so the title, Dirty and Bad, how did that come about? Were there any other titles that were considered for this album?
Well, we were writing the album, and as we were going along and stuff, you kind of get together the idea, the concept of the whole thing and how it all comes together and stuff. I don't think we really thought about it until the very end. And we were like, okay, so what makes the most sense? And we never had a title track before. So I think that's why we were kind of like, hey, you know what? Let's do a title track this time. And it was such a strong track that we were just like, you know what? This makes sense. This is cool. This is catchy. This is it kind of grabs you. And that's why we kind of picked, Dirty and Bad, and having a title track this time for an album too.
Well, right on. Well, I think it matches just the vibe of the album really well, plus obviously having the title track with it as well. But I think it's a great combination with the title and the music in the album. So I'm kind of curious, so shifting to the writing and recording side, how was it writing and recording this album?
So we did it a little bit different this time. Yeah, we in the past we've recorded in one blob at one time. So we've written everything, we've gone through pre-production, we've gone through rewriting and stuff, and then we go into the studio and just kick it out. This time what we did is we were like, okay, we wrote a group of songs first. We picked out the best ones, and we went into the studio, and we went into Sound Mine in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, where we've recorded before with Dan Malsh. And fantastic studio. That man is just so talented and so enthusiastic. And we went in with 4 songs to record, and we did those songs. And then we kind of evaluated those songs and said, okay, what are we going to do here? How do we want to kind of write the rest of and kind of gear the rest of the album? and we kind of took a step back and we started writing the rest of it and pre-production, the whole thing again. And then when we were ready, we reached out to Dan Mulch again, and he was super busy because the man I think he did the last Ghost album. He's done Avenged Sevenfold and stuff. So the man was like, I can squeeze you in right here. And we're like, we need a little bit more time than that. So we actually, through a friend, right? We found a studio in New Jersey, and it was like the complete opposite of like the awesome studio in Pennsylvania. This was this was like dirty. This was like mean. It's like you go up the stairs, you go up like 3 flights of stairs to get to this like rickety old studio and stuff. But, you know, we worked with Ben Harris, and fantastic, like enthusiastic, super talented. And we just went through it, you know. I think the combination of the two, of like this super awesome studio and then this like down and dirty studio, kind of like gave it a little bit of a, you know, kind of built the vibe of the album in general, you know.
Both producers, they have both have great ears, so they're able to, you know, and they're both flawless at what they do. So none of them rush anything. So they want everything to be, you know, if they hear an idea, they'll have you do it 100 times if they hear different harmonies or, you know, patterns, whatever it might be. But both are amazing. So both of them worked out great. So like the way like she said, the way we recorded this was in different. We didn't do it all at the same time, but like the way it came together. This is the first time we ever did an album this way. So it's really cool.
It was kind of cool to do it this way, actually. And I think, you know, I mean, the bottom line is we had 2 really talented producers working with us. You know, both of them were amazing. Both of them didn't cut any corners and, you know, had a lot of great input and, you know, thoughts and stuff to make each recording better. And that's the bottom line. You know, it wasn't, you know, it's not necessarily the studio or like the freaking location of everything and stuff. It's really who's working on it and how much they can put into it and how much they care and the talent that they have to put into it too, right? So it's a little bit of everything.
Well, it's definitely a very unique experience, obviously, with the recording at 2 different studios, so 2 kind of opposite ends of the spectrum as you were describing them. But I think it's really cool. So, like, I'm curious. So, like, how many songs were recorded with the first studio, and how many were recorded at the second one?
There were 4 recorded at the first studio in Pennsylvania, and 6 recorded at the second studio.
Very cool.
10 tracks total.
Well, very nice, very nice. So, like, obviously, recording at different studios. Were there any like challenges with this album? You know, with like either recording at different studios or anything like that to overcome?
You know, I didn't think so.
No.
I thought actually
Because we have a great master saxophonist who took both recordings and made them sound like they came from the same spot.
He's out of Florida, so we've used him before.
Zach Ziskin, who does our mixing and mastering, is fantastic, and he's out of Florida, and he's worked on our stuff for years now, and always like does such a great job. He's like really, really, really good, and just so easy to work with too. So, you know, I think it was really cool that it was done this way because it gave us time to breathe in between and kind of like reevaluate and just kind of like just hone in on things that we wanted to hone in on. You know, where sometimes when you're rushing or not rushing through, when you're doing something all in one chunk, it's like it's hard to see, you know, each thing individually so much because you're like, all right, I have to get through we're number 5 out of 10 here. We're out, like, you know, this way you could really hone in on each thing and just kind of like just concentrate and also just like learn from whatever you did before and say, hey, maybe we want to try this instead, you know, and that's what was so great about it. It's a great way to do going forward, I think, for ourselves. So
we did a lot of pre-production with ourselves, recording in Pro Tools, and we sent it off to our manager, Roman, who's down in Florida, and he has a friend named Brent Aarons, who is it Flip is the name of the band? And he's wrote many songs for many people, and we worked with him through Zoom, and we, you know, went through some of the songs, so it gave us more time to refine our songs to sound, you know, more where we wanted them this time.
at practice, actually, we would have Zooms with Brandon, and he would say, all right, play the verse, play the chorus, and he would say, oh, try, maybe the verse 3 times the second time around, something like that. So and then try the bridge, make it longer, or try this in the bridge, and then we would do that for each song, and then it worked out. It was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bryn was awesome. He's actually in Minneapolis, right?
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds like obviously very very unique with all aspects of this album. So like with like Zoom and like doing stuff over Zoom, was that like a new experience for like writing and recording an album?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, our resources are limited, so we couldn't fly Bryn out for a month and have him hang out in Jersey with us. So we were trying to find another way to make it work. And so Zoom was the obvious kind of thing. And we thought, all right, we can make this work. We just have to kind of like adjust to our volume, obviously, and everything else. And
Well, he heard us through our interface. We plugged in the interface and So Metal was using some electric drums, and I used my fractals and plugged in, and we went to bass direct in, so he could hear everything we were doing, and we could hear him. So it was kind of different. Yeah,
it was cool. Thank God for technology, like technology today versus 5 or 10 years ago, even.
Yeah, it's really
so freaking awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh no, it definitely is, and obviously with the technology that can use for many different things, and also it's such a benefit. Like how we're talking right now, obviously it's it connects people, which is really cool to see, and obviously helps out so much.
It's fantastic, man. Otherwise, we have to fly you out to New Jersey, or we'd have to go out to Tornado Alley in Indiana and hang out with you.
Oh, yeah.
Or come to our Tornado Alley, which is like what we have today. With Tornado Watch in New Jersey.
Well, see, I was born and raised in the Midwest, so if there's like a tornado or tornado watch, like you're just supposed to sit on your front porch and watch.
I have a question real quick, not to get off topic, because we're on the topic of tornadoes. Real quick, what's the biggest tornado you ever saw in person over there?
So luckily, we have not had like where I'm at, we've had like tornadoes all around me. So luckily, I've not seen like a tornado up close and personal. I've been through a lot of severe storms, but luckily, I think the closest one was probably like 10 or so miles away. And that was like, I think that was a EF1 or F1. So it wasn't like a huge tornado, but so I would say that would be the one.
That's bad enough.
That's still bad enough.
That's not good. Yeah, not good at all.
Yeah, for sure. So luckily, everything's been going good so far. I'm not going to jinx myself though.
Hopefully, after this interview, we won't be blown away or sucked up into a tornado either here in New Jersey, because we're on a tornado watch until midnight today. So midnight tomorrow morning. So.
Well, I hope everything goes well for you guys, and nothing obviously like that happens, because we wouldn't want that. We don't want anything happen to you guys.
So we had the lyric video come out, but we just filmed the second music video, which is going to be coming out soon, but not so soon that we can announce it yet. But yeah, that would be very tragic. It would be like post
music video.
That would be a big hit.
It would be like, these guys tragically passed away in a tornado in New Jersey.
Of all places. What was it? 2 weeks? 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We shot our official, like a full music video, so we're very excited about that. And that was a long day. Started early in the morning. Went late, but we have a lot of. We think people are going to love it when it's out. So it's got a very cool storyline to it that we can't wait to share.
And interestingly, we shot it in an old warehouse that was from World War I, right? Well, not
World War
I.
Yeah.
Where they made these planes and
seaplanes. There were seaplanes.
So we were up in the attic doing it. So it was different.
Well, that sounds really cool. I'm definitely excited to obviously when that is released to check it out, because that sounds like just a really cool aesthetic for a music video.
There were a lot of dead animals too. There were like dead birds. There were dead carcasses all around us and stuff. Dead raccoons. Yeah. We did not video them because they needed their own piece and stuff. So we left them to themselves. But yeah, it was kind of, we looked around, it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
We were in the graveyard.
That's
Yeah, unexpected graveyard too. All right, so now I got a couple more things before we start to close out this interview. So I'm kind of curious, moving to the live performance side real quick. So I'm curious for you guys, for each of you, what is your favorite song to perform live?
Out of the new songs or out of all?
What is in your set?
You know what? I personally like, God, it's hard. I really like Casual Violence. That's my favorite. So I love it. I love the vibe of it. I love the message of it. You know, I just really love performing it live. I know everybody else has.
Yeah, I think mine is Monster off that. I don't know. I'm an old monster freak. Like I love the old Frankensteins, the werewolves, the Invisible Man, all that kind of crazy stuff. So Monster was kind of in my mind when I started writing the riffs for that, was kind of based on thinking about that kind of stuff. So that's how it kind of came to be.
And that's the song "Monster of Your Dreams," which is on the new album.
Yeah, Monster of Your Dreams. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's actually The Storm, because it just has such a great groove to it. And the bridge is, to me, just when it comes back into the verse, it's just it doesn't get any better than that. It spits you out into, the abyss, and it sucks you back into the verse, into that groove. And to me, it's a great song. I love to play that song.
Yeah, it's once again tough for me. I'm actually going to say it's a toss up between The Storm and Casual Violence, but I think just because of the heaviness of it and the drive of it, I just think it's those are. I mean, live. Those are. I mean, Casual Violence to play live is, is really high energy. So I would actually say my number one right at the moment is Casual Violence as well. But it's going to be tough because we're going to play them all, live very soon. So we're going to probably, we're going to see how the audience reacts too. And, it's just very, very cool to see. So, we can't wait to showcase everything live. So that's going to be great.
But now, as we're closing out this interview, so curious for you guys, obviously we're about halfway through 2025. So how's the rest of the year looking like for Spider Rockets?
So we are we just dropped that new album, which is really exciting. We're doing a bunch of interviews and stuff right now. We're doing a lot of press. We are navigating tour possibilities. And as soon as we get something locked down, we will be announcing it. So we're really excited about that. We can't wait to share with everything with, our fans and our friends and, just going across the country doing stuff. And so we're really looking forward to that. So when we do have something that we can announce, we will be announcing that as well too. So working on a bunch of things, including the new video. We recorded, we filmed part of it. We're going to be filming again, I think, next Saturday or Sunday. And so we'll be releasing another video probably within the next couple of months, I'm guessing, and then another video after that too. Mm-hmm. So videos, new singles are coming out and stuff from the album, and
writing
tour
new music.
And writing new music for the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually are writing new music for the next one, and before this one even just dropped, so we're ahead of the game with that.
So on this topic of all of this though, we just released the first lyric video for Dirty and Bad, the single, and that's available on YouTube right now, also on our website. So everybody can check it out and see the video and check out the rest of the tracks too on all the streaming platforms online.
The CD.
And the album too on all the streaming platforms online. And if you love actual physical CDs, you can get one of those too. The artwork is pretty cool, so it's definitely worth getting a physical copy if you are into that. So.
Well, very good. I will leave some links for Spider Rockets in the description of this podcast. Please check out and support them. So if they are interested in purchasing a CD, where is the best spot for that?
Well, you can go to Barnes & Noble. That's probably one that everybody would recognize. Type in Spider Rockets, Dirty and Bad, and it will come up right there. For for streaming everywhere. So Apple Music, iTunes, I guess too. Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon Music,
Spotify.
Deezer, Spotify. Yeah. So anywhere that you get your streaming stuff, check it out. It's there. And we would love to hear what people's favorite track is. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
Well, very good. As I said, I will have links in the description, but I'll be the first one since you obviously you talked about people's favorite tracks. Mine is Casual Violence off the album. I very much enjoy it. So that's my answer.
Yeah, I
Very
hear
cool.
you,
Very
man.
cool.
Okay, cool.
As I said, please check out and support them. But thank you guys so much for your time. It was awesome to chat with you all.
You
Same
too.
here.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having us.
Thanks for
having
having
us.
us.
Really appreciate
Of course, for Spider Rockets, I'm your host, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.